Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show. I'm your host, Rachel Zaleski. The Columbus Dons boys basketball team is going to state, and we are here at Columbus Catholic High School to talk about it. It's all yours, and it's all now. Joining us now, Jason Zaleski, our sports expert, and Columbus Dons basketball coach, Joe Konieczny.
There we go.
Welcome.
Thanks for being here, I would normally say, except thanks for having us here.
You're welcome. We love having you here.
Yeah, excellent. All right, Rach, what's up?
All right, Coach. So your Dons are going to state.
They are, and we are very excited about it.
So you've had since Saturday to kind of let that sink in. So lots of celebration, I'm sure, going on. Now, what do? It's time to get back to work.
Well, we let them enjoy it on Sunday. You know, during the playoffs, it's hard. You kind of send the message that you can enjoy it that night. You wake up the next day, and it's time to focus on the next step. But when you win a sectional final, we allowed them to enjoy it on Sunday. The coaches worked on some things as far as planning a trip and making sure we had hotels and all the non-basketball stuff taken care of. But we let the boys enjoy it until Monday at about 3 o'clock, and now it's on to Bangor.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is. We'll talk about them in just a second, Coach. We talked to you before the season started again this year. One thing I always talk about is a team hardly ever looks the same at the end as they did at the beginning. You had a number of players really progress throughout the year. One I'll talk about in particular is Mr. Furlinger. As the season went on, he, to me, got exponentially better, especially down low on the defensive end, grabbing loose balls, rebounds. So he leads your team by far in rebounding. Let's talk about his progression and how he's helped to make this possible.
I agree. I think, if you look at our team last year, you can really tell the difference this year between a junior and a senior. Another year of physical development, another year of experience. The loss last year, at the time, I didn't understand it. It was quite depressing. You lose a sectional final by one. Mm-hmm. This week, in reflecting, you kind of see the point of it. You see how it helped us. Maybe if we don't suffer that last year, we aren't here this year. I think, we turned it into a positive. And Bryce has been a big part of that. Bryce is hands down the best rebounder I've ever coached. He's probably the most coachable human being you could ever have. Relentless when the ball's in the air on the floor. And our teammates, or his teammates around him, have really done a good job of recognizing mismatches and getting him the ball. My favorite possessions on Saturday were the possessions we went to Bryce. He threw the ball back out, and we threw it right back to him to let him position himself and really get to the basket for a layup. And off the court, Bryce is somebody that you want your kids to grow up to be like. We talk a lot here about resume virtues versus eulogy virtues, where resume virtues are kind of what you do to them to impress other people. They're the things you put on your resume. The eulogy virtues are what people will say about you after you're gone. And Bryce has all of those: hardworking, unselfish, just a great teammate.
We'll talk about a couple other your players here. We don't have time to talk about each and every one of them, and I think during the season, at least on this end here, we've done a good job of capturing as many of them as we can during highlights and other live games that we've had for you. Another one, though, that comes to mind to me is Noah Taylor from the start of the season on. He's a bulldog on the court, whether it's on offense or defense, whatever's going on, he puts his head down, he grinds, and he goes out and gets the job done. Talk about his performance this year.
Well, I think the playoffs is probably what I'll remember the most, but all season, he's had to be defending the other team's best perimeter player, Alex King at Neilsville in our conference, Bogdanovich at Loyal, and then in the playoffs to look at the players he had to defend with Noah Kolick on Thursday, a player that is almost at 2,000 points, and we held him to 8, which is really hard to do. And then on Saturday with Samuel Meerstein, Coach Meerstein's son, another fantastic player. And Noah just kind of sticks with them for the entire game, doesn't take 30-second rest, doesn't take a minute rest, plays the entire game on the other team's best player, and then finds a way to score 15 points and grab 4 or 5 rebounds and help the team offensively as he does it. And very underrated. People talk about Bryce because of the dunks and the size and the rebounding stats. I think Jared Mandel gets a lot of recognition. Ethan Meese is long. But Taylor is kind of the spark plug, the guy that does so many little things for us that makes everybody around him better.
You mentioned the word spark plug. That brings to mind the spark you had on Saturday. And again, that was a game that put you in the state tournament this year, and that was Tom Nystrom. 15 points, 5 3-pointers, and everything rolled in late in the second half. He had one bounce around about 3 or 4 times and just lands right through there. Just talk about his work this year too.
Well, he's just another great human being, which we've been blessed with this year. A lot of these guys are just so unselfish. But Tom's a kid that can shoot, and his teammates know that he can shoot. And I credit our assistant coaches for a lot of it. They noticed on film that Green Bay would take Meerstein and put him on who they felt was the least likely to score. And then what he would do is roam and really create havoc for the other players. So Coach Wilson texted me and said, hey, watch what he's doing defensively. You got to have Tommy ready to go. So we showed Tommy that on film. And when Meerstein did start to roam, Tommy knocked down 5 threes. So again, credit that to our assistant coaches and to Tom for stepping up in a big situation.
Yeah, and you and the team also put Meerstein in a bit of foul trouble. He was in a position in that second half. He had to step away a couple times on those drives, and really it was a combined team effort. So now on to state, and congratulations, second time in 3 years the Columbus Dons will go to the state tournament, play at the Kohl Center down in Madison, Wisconsin. You get to play the Bangor Cardinals. I'll ask you a little bit about the scouting report as I was kind of looking through. No common opponents. Their last loss back on December 11th, though, to Blair Taylor. And Blair Taylor and you have a lot of common opponents. What have you been able to dissect with the Cardinals?
Oh, they're big. Mr. Mankey inside, 6'4", 230, and not an ounce of fat on him. And he's relentless. Very, very physical player. 24 points, 16 rebounds a game. We think we have some length that can at least slow him down a little bit. But the problem is they do a really nice job of placing shooters around him, which we've noticed on film. They have a couple kids that are 35, 41% three-point shooters. So if you leave the shooters, he does a good job of finding them. So we have to make sure that if we do double, we leave the right perimeter player. And then rebounding will be huge. If we can hold them to one shot on each possession, I think we have a really good chance to win the game. If he gets them 3 or 4 extra opportunities, and then we're going to be in trouble.
Yep, going to need defensive rebounds, no second chance points when they're on offense. So on one hand, Coach, you say congratulations, you're going to state, you get to play the Bangor Cardinals. On the other hand, you say, geez, congratulations, you get to play last year's state champs. You come in as a 2 seed, they're the 3 seed. Just talk about the mental aspect of that, going down and playing last year's defending state champions.
Well, they had a great senior class last year, lost 7 or 8 guys. A new coach this year did a great job getting them back. And I think the experience for them can be offset a little bit from the experience for us. We have some guys on our team that 2 years ago got some experience down there too. So I think we know that we can play with them, but execution's a different thing than the mental part of it. So if we execute and we do what we've worked on at practice, I think we'll be okay.
All right, game time is set for around 10:45. That's an estimate. There is a first game, and we won't talk about that one here today, but 10:45 on Friday. We've talked a little bit about, Rachel, that game on Saturday, the game against Green Bay, Northeast Wisconsin Lutheran. I'm just say the whole name out there. And here's a quick recap of that game.
Straight, you got to win 4 straight to get to this part. 3-pointer right side as Marshall Bukowski, 37%, from the field. 3-pointer, Nystrom got it. Left side 3-pointer for the Blazers. They got it into lane. Bukowski. All the way to the right, got the right hand up and in. Basket counts on the foul. Oh, could have been a carry, travel, something, but they didn't catch that one. But Meerstein gets it in the foul.
I think.
All knotted up at 24, 3-pointer, got it. 3-pointer top of the key, Bukowski, and got it to go. Timeout Dons. Gussie is just about open every time. 3-pointer right side, got it. 7th trip in 9 years. They missed in 12 and 17. 3-pointer there.
They're close to doing that right now.
Mandel finds Nystrom. 3-pointer, got it.
Mandel altered that shot. That was all Mandel on defensive end.
Nystrom, 3-pointer, got it. Tom Nystrom with 12 points.
Well, Steve, I said we'd find out in the next 90 seconds ago what was going to happen. It was going to go one of 2 ways, and it went with number 2, the Dons, clawing back into this one. That trap up here at the top of the key and then got back on defense this time made the difference.
Mandel coast to coast, right hand on the left side and in. Turnover, nope, Dons come away with it. Pull up jumper, no. Taylor in the lane, the Dons have the lead.
First time the Dons have led since the score was 18-16, and that seems like a long time ago. Dons in the lead with 9 to go and a trip to Madison on the line.
Underneath to Ferlinger again. Hard dribble down, up and 2 more. Mandel with it. Right side, three-pointer on the... Got it! Jared Mandel for 3!
Here in half number 2.
Underneath. Got a poked away to Ferlinger, up and too strong. He's going to take Mearstein to school the rest of the game. Nystrom, three-pointer left side. Rattleman! Tom Nystrom, have yourself a day.
You know it is your kind of day when you're getting a roll like that at a gym you may not have ever played in before.
And Mandel comes away with the rebound. And that will do it. The Dons will head to Madison. What an afternoon. Columbus Catholic wins.
You are watching the Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House.
All right, everyone. So we will have an audio broadcast of the Columbus Dons on Friday from the Kohl Center in Madison. Steve Mabes will give you the play-by-play, and that starts at 10:45, like Jason said. Go to ZaleskiSportsShow.com and click Live Sports so you guys can watch, too.
Yeah. All right. Rock and roll.
Thanks, everybody, for watching the Zaleski Sports Show. I'm Rachel. This is Jason and Coach Konieczny. And thank you for being with us today. You can keep up with live streams and highlights on the Zaleski Sports Facebook network, and you can also follow along with Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Have a great rest of your week, everyone.
Coach, congratulations on the season. We'll see you in Madison.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Go Sports.